Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Monday, April the 22nd, 2013, and here's today's midday market update brought to you by wallstreettrading.com. Wanted to start by taking a look to see how the indices are closing trading for the day here so far. The Dow Jones is down about 10 points. The CompQ's is up 20.5 points. The Russell 2000 is up a point. The S&P is up a little over 4 points. We take a look at the commodities here via the ETFs. USO crude oil is up 33 cents. Gold GLD is up $2.47. GDX is up 30 cents for the gold miners. JJC copper a little bit weak this morning, down 24 cents. Silver SLV is up 25 cents. Take a look at the currencies. Euro is weak. Dollar is strong. The XOI, the oil index, is up $13.89. Halliburton came out with some good numbers this morning. They, Halliburton, they beat on the top line and the bottom line. Stock gapped up, traded sideways, and started trending higher. We were able to call that out in the room, and I'll go over that trade here shortly once we finish going over the market, different indices here first. So the energy sector is getting a nice little bounce today. Those stocks have been getting a little bit hit down. Financials are a little bit weak today. They recovered off those lows. Let's see here. Let me take a quick look. Goldman Sachs is up 25 cents now after being down, well over $1. All right. JP Morgan recovered as well. So we'll take a look at those names here. In any case, let's go ahead and take a look at the chart, starting off with the 15-minute chart, which is what you see here on the left-hand side, the 15-minute chart of the ES. Oops, sorry about that. All right, which we're currently trading at 1554. Going into this morning session, all right, if you're in the mywallstreettv.com trading room, again, to get access to the My Wall Street TV trading room, you want to go to wallstreettrading.com and fill out the form on the right-hand side for the 14-day free trial so that you can get the email with the credentials to log into the room. In any case, going into the opening session here, we highlighted the fact that the ES was trading in a range overnight between 1556 and 1552. It was not able to close above 1556.50 overnight, so you can see here they started fading it going into the open. All right, one thing that we were looking for was for a break and hold below 1551. We got our 1551 level, and we touched our support 3 level that we gave out in the room and on our Facebook page, all right, which was 1545. We had support 1 is 1552, which of course is the top of the base, the bottom of the base from the range, I mean here. All right, then we had 1548, a key level from last week, and then we had 1545, which also lined up with the daily pivot, which was 1544.5, just about there, and a nice level to get long off of. All right, now on the micro time frame, all right, on the 5-minute chart here, you can see what took place. All right, we had a sideways range near the top of the range. We broke down, we bear flagged back into that little channel right there. Try to go back to the channel. Bear flag broke down. Going to the open, we back tested the bear flag resistance, and then we sold all the way to the downside here. Buyers did try to come in here around the 1550.75 previous day's highs. We got rejected. We rallied back up, got rejected back down. 1544, 1545 was a good level to go long against. All right, and then the move that actually gave us the next leg up was this nice little consolidation that we had right here. All right, between 1548 and 1546. We were pretty much trading sideways for about an hour here, and then volume started picking back up again, and we made a nice move to the top side. Okay, now I want to show you guys another thing that I pointed out to the guys in the room here, all right, which was another reason why we were not looking to get short down there near the bottom of the chart. You take a look at the 60-minute chart here, which you have on the screen now. All right, you see this is a 60-minute chart of the ES. You have this nice little downward trend line that we've been watching since the what day is this here? Since April the 11th. All right, you can see we've been below this trend line, below this trend line, below this trend line, selling off. And we made a low last week on Thursday, rallied back up off the overnight lows, rallied into Friday, and then guess what here? Sunday overnight, we broke over the trend line. All right, then we traded this little range that we highlighted here. We sold off, back tested that level from the breakout. Remember, that's a key trend line. You got to back test held, and we rallied all the way back up. So in the room, right? What I was showing to everybody was, look, down here we're not looking to get short because we're at a possible backtest area. You want to wait for more clues. Well, let me go back to that chart that I showed you guys now on the 5 and the 15 minute here. And what was the clue here? The clue was a nice move off the lows, all right, and this sideways consolidation for a buy candlestick right there with 15, back over 50.48, back went positive, back when the market went positive. The Russell 2000 was lagging a bit today, but they caught up. The Nasdaq is leading the way, followed by the S&P 500. Not sure about the Dow Jones because I do not track the Dow Jones. And now looking back at the market now, you can see that we're coming back into that resistance that we had from pre-market on the futures overnight here when we broke down here in the morning. That breakdown came at 7:25 this morning. All right, so let's go and take a look at the ETFs for some of you guys out there that watch the ETFs, that trade the stocks, the IWM, the SPY, the Triple Q. Starting off with the SPY. All right, SPY gapped above its 3-day range of resistance right here. All right, gapped up at 155.80. We sold all the way back down to the middle part of the range, held this 154.85 level, and then we were able to rally all the way back up to the open price, and now we're pretty much just trading sideways in the SPY. The SPY could break over the high of the session today, 156, and hold above it. I'll be looking for a move back towards this gap fill right here, this gap window, which also lines up with last week's Tuesday and Wednesday's opening price right here around 156.30, which will be the next short-term target of resistance. We break above that, then we can start filling this gap from the gap down that we had on Wednesday, folks. That's how the SPY is looking. Let me zoom in here for you guys real quick. All right, you can see how that's looking right there. Now let's take a look at the IWM. Maximize this real quick. The IWM made a nice recovery off the lows, guys. That's one thing you got to give it credit for. All right, some nice heavy selling volume came in here the first 45 minutes of the session. We rallied all the way back up through this consolidation or this little congestion from the left here. All this congestion right here that we broke below, we rallied all the way back up. All right, of course on light volume, and now we're near the highs. All right, we had some resistance right here from last week Wednesday's opening price around 90, 93, call it 91. We start breaking above that. We start holding above that. Levels to watch is 91.40. We move back to the downside. You want to look for a move possibly back down towards 90.25. We are back positive on the IWM, so they could try to chop it around here. Not sure if we're going to get another move in the late part of the session here. All right. Now, last but not least, let's take a look at the triple Qs. Triple Qs are looking pretty good here. All right, they are the leading index today, the Nasdaq. You can see we gapped up slightly, rallied a bit, came right back down, and rallied all the way back near the highs, and now they're trading in a range. All right, triple Qs on this 15-minute chart is trading in a range between 68.80, actually 68.60 and 68.75 or so. All right, this is a bullish pattern right here from this from the action that we have today so far. This is a nice little uptrend. The Qs have been in an uptrend since. They have been in a uptrend since Friday. Okay. And now, levels to watch again is 68.85 area. We have gap fill up here towards 69.50. Of course, we're not going to get there today, I don't think, unless something crazy happens. But just know those levels for reference. If we pull back, we could pull back down here towards the bottom of the range that we're trading in right now. All right, meaning the 68.60 level. We break below that, we could look for a move back down towards 68.50, then maybe back down here towards 68.35 if we were to roll over. All right, so that's how that's looking. Real quick, take a look at a couple of stocks that we were watching this morning. I mean, the guys were pretty active in the room this morning. They called out a lot of good stuff, but one thing that I can take, take some pat on the backs for, some points for, is helping everybody out with this Halliburton trade. Well, in this MRK trade, which we talked about in the Sunday night chart session, this thing broke out over 47.50, looking pretty good. All right, let me go to a 5-minute chart here real quick. 5-minute chart MRK, we talked about this chart pattern because if you take a look at the 60-minute chart, it had a nice little bull flag that broke out on Friday. All right, it broke out around 2 o'clock. So today, continuation pattern pulls back to the top of that flag and then continues higher. This is actually a good example I'm going to talk about this week when we do our risk management presentation down at our Miami office. So if you're in the area and you want to stop in, go to meetup.com and check it out. Also, what else here? Let's see. Halliburton. Okay. The setup on Halliburton was that the stock gapped up. Again, they came out with good numbers. They beat the top and the bottom line. The stock gapped up. We were looking for a hold above 38.50 previous day's highs, all right, from the gap, because it was pretty much gapping above, back above this little consolidation range right here. So we were looking for a hold above 38.50. That's your hourly chart. All right, so now we want to make sure we zoom into our 15-minute chart. All right, and part of the clue of what was going on here was the fact that every time it kept on trading to 38.50, sellers were coming in and knocking it down. Then it hit 38.60, they were coming in and knocking it right back down. Right, but it really didn't trigger the buyers until it got back above this bar right here, because a lot of people that were probably short this thing from this morning were using that 38.70 as a stop. So once that triggered, it gave it the next momentum move up, and now it's breaking out. We call this trade out around the 38.40 area. All right, just so you can see how I entered the trade here, I could bring up my platform real quick, our Fusion platform. All right, and you can see how I entered this trade here. Now I sold it a little bit because I sold the position before I went to lunch here, but the entry down here. All right, this is a consolidation. All right, I actually picked it up down there towards the bottom of the range of 38.44, because every time it was breaking down, it kept on holding that level. Picked some up here. I sold some 38.75s like an idiot, but sold it right before it broke out this little consolidation right here. All right, but just took some off the table, and then it was coming right back up like it was about to roll over. Then I went to lunch, so I was like, let me just go ahead and take it off. So I took it back off, and now it's near the highs, which I was looking for this to happen. Because if you take a look at the hourly chart right here, it was still working off of this expansion candle. So this is like a little pause candle in the upper 50% range or upper 30% range here. All right, and this is a continuation. And now targets back up towards 39.40 highs. So in any case, we're getting the guys in the right names. If you want to make sure that you're trading in the right direction of the market, for sure, in the morning part of the session, which I specialize in a lot, you want to make sure you get yourself to the room. Make sure you check out the Facebook page and the Google Plus page, Wall Street Trading, and have a great day, guys. Catch you guys after the close. Cheers.